everyone. Welcome to the Hemet San Jacinto Student of the Month Breakfast. My name is Karina Zermino, and I sit on the Student of the Month Committee. I am also here this morning representing Altura Credit Union. The purpose of this program is to recognize and honor students for their character, love of learning, commitment to academics, in addition to their involvement in school and community activities, and or their ability to overcome difficult life circumstances in a setting that honors God, our country, family, community, and free enterprise. So we'll start with Hemet High School. Dr. Emily Shaw, Principal. May your students, family, and teacher please come on up.
Good morning. Again, I'd like to start off by thanking all the dignitaries for being here and for the committee who puts this together. It seems like just yesterday we were together to celebrate the Students of the Year. It's been a super fast summer and a very, very busy start to the school year. So we're honored to be here this morning. I tried to recognize Mariah last year because she's a student that stands out as an exceptional leader on campus. And then I remembered she was an 11th grader. So then I committed to making sure she was my first student this year because when Karina and the team put together the criteria that it has to be a student who's persevered or overcome adversity, there's no other student on our campus that I can think of that has endured more than Mariah has, and she continues to rise to the challenge and lead on our campus. She's actively involved in our Future Farmers of America, not only on campus, but at the county level and the region level. No, the region. I told her I was going to mess it up. She'll fix it for me. But anybody who knows about FFA knows that it's probably the best student leadership organization that's possibly out there. And she's actively involved in that organization. She makes a contribution to our campus through everything that she does. And as I said, she's overcome some significant odds, and she still has a smile every day on her face. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Salzgiver, who's going to talk about Mariah, and then Mariah will introduce her guests and tell you a little bit about herself.
I nominated Mariah Harper for Student of the Month because she's very deserving of this award. Mariah is a student that has experienced and had to overcome more than most grown adults have in their lifetime, while managing to also be one of the greatest leaders I have had the pleasure of working with. During her sophomore year, Mariah lost her mother. However, even through all the heartbreak and uncertain times, Mariah has always maintained her passion and drive for the FFA and her desire to serve others. Mariah has served as the chapter president her junior year and is currently serving as the Riverside Section FFA president and Southern Region FFA vice president. All of these roles have given her several opportunities to develop as a leader, and she is active in all aspects of FFA. She's often spending her time helping other students and FFA members. She has overcome several struggles and losses in her time at Hemet High, and has not let any of it stop her from maintaining straight A's or being involved in several extracurricular activities. Mariah is beyond deserving of this award. Thank you.
Hello. Sorry for my voice today. I'm a little sick, so just bear with me. I would like to introduce my two guests here, which is one of my teachers, Ms. Baker, and my dad and my little sister, which is Mike and Ava. So they're my guests. I would like to thank Dr. Shaw and Ms. Salzgiver for nominating me today. It is because of my support system that I have been able to accomplish and grow within the FFA and within my school. I'm active in the FFA. I'm a part of the Parley Pro team, the job interview contest, vegetable crop judging, and one of my most favorite things is I volunteer at our chapter farm stand every Sunday where we sell the produce we grew that week and the eggs from our chickens, and we sell them to our community. And it's kind of like a constant fundraiser for our chapter because that money then goes back into our chapter so we can go to the events that I am involved in. Like Ms. Salzgiver said, my sophomore year I did lose my mother, and along with that my grandmother and my aunt in a short period of time. but it was because of my support system within my school and my chapter that I was, of course, sad, but I kept working towards my goals and I didn't let them keep me down from what I wanted to do. And I learned from that if you fail or something hard comes, that you can't let that keep you down, that you have to keep working towards it till you get there, because of course there's going to be failures, but you can't keep that from stopping you to try. And when I graduate from Hemet High School this year, I would like to either attend Cal Poly San Luis Obispo or Chico State, where I would like to major in agriculture business and minor in crop production. And I would like to take those experiences once I establish a career and bring those back to my communities and hopefully be a part of my chapter or even the local 4-H community, and then teach my experiences to those kids and hopefully just give back to my community. Thank you.
He said he wasn't going to say anything, and he stuck to it. But he also, Mariah said he could talk in front of thousands of people, and he's the only person that makes her nervous is her dad. So thank you for allowing us to recognize Mariah. And I failed to look at the list and see who goes next. Oh, we're going to introduce John Bradshaw with West Valley High School. Thank you so much.
My name is John Bradshaw. I have the honor of standing in for Dr. Jones, who's unavailable to be here this morning to represent West Valley. I'd like to thank all of you for being here today, for those of you who are sponsors, for those of you who are members of our community who believe very strongly in honoring the accomplishments of our students. I would like to say that it's my honor this morning to introduce Andrew Weishar. Did I get that right? Did I do a good job? Excellent. He represents something that I think we definitely deserve to honor. A young man who has embraced the opportunity to take a larger role in his school. He represents the kind of a student that inspires each and one of us. This is why we're in education, to be able to rub shoulders with a quality young man like this, knowing that what we're doing is really making an impact because we know he's going to make an impact someday. His nominating teacher here at the school is Chief Aguiar, and I'm going to let him go ahead and speak at this time. Thank you.
They said I only had 1 minute. Is that what it was? My problem is I might have too much to say. We nominated Cadet Lieutenant Weishar. He has clearly distinguished himself above his peers. Cadets enter the NJOTC program as a seaman recruit, and as they progress through the ranks, depending on their academic scores, participation, motivation, potential, Lieutenant Weishar's initiative and aggressive pursuit of excellence were the key factors in his nomination and his selection as unit executive officer. So he's a second in command in our unit. He is directly responsible for the training and mentorship of 137 cadets, active in all areas of our program. A leader by example. Throughout his high school career, he has pursued academic excellence while working on the most challenging and demanding classes. He has clear and concise goals and works diligently to achieve them. An all-around student and makes time to help in the local community. He has volunteered well over 1,000 off-class hours in various NJOTC sponsored activities, as well as most recently, he has led the effort in collecting supplies for the victims of Hurricane Harvey. The Mustangs have done at least 5 color guards for the San Diego Padres, 3 of which he has directly contributed to, most recently last Monday, which we got a week notice, by the way. His awards ribbons are as follows. Actually, I'm not even going to read them because he has so many. I spent 23 years in the Navy, and he has more ribbons than I do, and he's only been in the program, this is his 4th year, so he's done an amazing job. You didn't have to ask Lieutenant Weishar what he did to make a difference. You could see it. He has unlimited potential with a strong will and desire to succeed in any endeavor. A superstar. Honor, courage, and commitment are the core values of the United States Navy, the Marine Corps, and our program. Andrew Weishar adheres to and exemplifies those values. Now we have quotes. I love quotes in my classroom, and I have some favorite quotes. So I'm just going to ask him right off the cuff, out of the quotes that I have, what's his favorite quote?
My favorite quote? Well, I'll begin with good morning, everyone. My favorite quote from Chief is, it's actually posted on his wall. It's a poster, and it says, achievement is limited by the height of your goals. All right? That's something he always preaches. It's always up on the wall, and that's something that we like to preach to our cadets. Also, I'd like to introduce my guests today, my mother and father. So I'd like to start off by saying what an honor it is to be regarded as the September Student of the Month from West Valley. It is truly an honor. And to thank all the sponsors, obviously we recognize them, Sizzler, for making these recognitions possible. I'd also like to thank my mother and father, again, for playing such a large role in my life and establishing the foundation of leadership and citizenship that I've continuously built upon. Likewise, I'd like to thank my NJROTC instructors, Chief Aguirre and Warrant Officer, who could not be here, as well as my principal, Dr. Jones, for instilling in me the values of leadership, confidence, commitment, honor, as well as other traits that cannot be taught from a textbook. In many ways, NJROTC has been one of the most important aspects of my life. Before in middle school, I was content with mediocrity, and I had an extremely hard time breaking the fixed learning mindset that I had developed in years previous. But my whole demeanor would quickly change when I began high school. I decided to break out of my comfort zone and do things that I never would have done before. And as a result, I adopted a growth mindset. I joined football and NJROTC my freshman year and recognized that no matter what, if you gave furious effort, not just regular effort, but furious effort, and you worked hard, you could achieve anything you tried. After all, that is the American dream. Eventually, I was a starter on the varsity football team and a high-ranking officer in NJROTC. This year, as Chief mentioned, I have the privilege of serving my unit as the executive officer. I get to come up with new ways to serve my unit, my community, and my school. Our most recent project, we called the Helping the Humanity in Houston project, as Chief mentioned, was actually among the most successful. We collected a large amount of non-perishable food items, baby and infant items, things like that, shoes, clothes, to support the victims of the Hurricane Harvey in Houston. They would rely on our support to live for weeks or even months until they could get the proper supplies and support they needed from the government and whatnot. But it's also to show that it is each and everyone's responsibility to aid our fellow citizen in their time of need. But I digress. Needless to say, I found a passion in serving my community as well as the military structure in NJROTC. And as a result, I'm currently in the process of pre-enlisting in the United States Navy with a desired rate of quartermaster. And this is where I am today. I find myself more motivated and inspired than ever. And being recognized as a September Student of the Month from West Valley will only contribute to that inspiration and motivation. This is not something I will soon forget. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Randy Weisar, Andrew's father. There's a proverb that says that it takes a village to raise a child, and Andrew's living proof of that. He, since an early age, his teachers, Seafood Ford over at Little Tau Dragon, the Hemet Jeep Club, having them help with the wheelchairs at the bowl for the pageant. You know, he started when he was 9, pushing people up the hill. So it's in him, you know. And it's like I said, it's all the community that put the hard work. I wish I could take all the credit and his mom take the credit. All we can do is, you know, put him out there the best we could, and I'm proud of him.
Our next presenter is Eric Dahlstrom from Tockwitz High School.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to the sponsors and the dignitaries. I'm always excited for this. I wish we could do it through the summer. It keeps me inspired and encouraged of what we do on a day-to-day basis. Today I'm excited to announce DeLauren Grant. She is our senior class president, and she is a role model for her class. She is a trendsetter, and you're going to hear more from her, but she's leading the path down not many of our students do. And she's setting an example for all of them. So I'm excited to hear from her today. And to introduce her, Miss Ayat, her teacher.
Good morning. I'm Trish Ayat, history and avid teacher at Tockwitz High School. Last year, DeLauren Grant was in my AP US history course, and this year she's in my AP government. Since I met her, she has stood out as an exemplary student. She has taken rigorous courses, actively participates in class, and is a leader on campus. She has a very positive and outgoing demeanor and is very involved in school activities. DeLauren has been in ASB since her freshman year. She puts forth her time and effort to making the ASB activities fun and entertaining for all students. This year, she has taken on great responsibility as senior president, which involves coordinating and organizing all senior events. DeLauren demonstrates the ability to overcome challenging circumstances, whether it's taking rigorous courses or exuding perseverance with her personal life. She's a joy to have in class, and it is with great pleasure that I have nominated DeLauren Grant as Student of the Month.
Hello, everyone. My name is DeLauren Grant, and I am from Tuckwoods High School. Oh, okay. Today I'm here with my mom and my sister, but my sister didn't want to come up here, and she's sitting down. So I would first like to thank Ms. Aya and Mr. Dahlstrom for nominating me for Student of the Month. Can you guys hear me? I feel like I'm really low. Like they have said, I'm involved in ASB at my school. I've been class president since my freshman year. With ASB becomes responsibility and time management. With the AP courses that I do take, it takes time to plan the events and also make time for my homework, and I'm also involved with sports. So I have to know time management. The biggest lesson that I've learned and will take with me to college is that I will always have to prove stereotypes wrong, because due to my skin tone, people automatically assume that I'm unintelligent or incapable of succeeding in school, which is not the case. I've taken AP classes and honors courses since I was in middle school. All my years of high school, I've achieved a 4.0 and above each semester. And the proving stereotypes wrong just encourages me to do well in school, just to prove everyone wrong, like to show them that I am capable of being smart, and I am underrepresented in my classes because I am the only African American in most of my AP classes. I plan to attend UCLA. That's my dream school. I want to major in biology and then proceed to medical school to become a neurosurgeon. That's always been my dream since middle school. I've always wanted to become a doctor. It's always interested me. And I would also like to thank all the sponsors today and thank Ms. Aya again and Mr. Dahlstrom.
All right, thank you. Next up, Hamilton High School and Dr. Farkas.
Good morning. Good morning, and again, thank you to the sponsors, Sizzler, everything Karina does behind the scenes to make this program so successful. It's the best time of the month, this day here, to celebrate our students, our stories, and obviously the trials and tribulations based on perseverance usually. So congratulations to all the students. Today I have Team Natalie with us, and I just want to say, I don't know if I could work with just adults, in a business world, because it's these teenagers that really make the day special. She's the first student I usually see in the office in the morning. She's one of our office aides, and I was at a training the last 2 days. So yesterday I came back on a Wednesday morning, and she said, "Farkas, where have you been?" I felt like I needed a note or something. And I said, "Oh, you miss your principal." So she's just kind of the energy and the glue that not only starts the day, but keeps the day going at our school. It's a small school, so we really celebrate not only academics, but that culture piece that really brings it together. And she's a leader with our culture. She's been like this since she was younger, but now as a senior, she's one of the top 10 seniors academically, but definitely a leader culturally in our school. So we're very proud to honor her today. And I have with me our teacher, our social science teacher, Miss Moan.
I'm also a member of Team Natalie, so okay. So Natalie has been at Hamilton for 13 years, born, raised in the community, and has just actually been a major contributor to just keeping things running very, very smoothly. She is ASB president this year, and I have actually been in the class numerous times covering for the teacher, and from the time the bell rings to the time the bell rings again, she is just keeping everybody on track and making sure that everybody has a task, and she's really good at leading the class. And she also is a huge asset outside. She is the CSF president. She has been a member, and still is, of the National Honor Society, Plus, and the Interact. Everything that Natalie does has to do with community service. That's where her strongest point is. And she also does it without drawing attention to herself. She doesn't want recognition for any of this. She just does it because she has a moral compass that I envy, in the fact that she always does the right thing for the right reasons and doesn't want anybody to acknowledge her in her guidance in the school. Some of the things that she's done through ASB and through NHS is running a Christmas program at the school with about 200 elementary school kids at one time. I don't even step foot near the gym when this is going on because it scares me, but Natalie is right in there with them. She also was a leading participant and driving force behind the Every 15 Minutes, which was really successful last year at our school. Through NHS, she has been very active in, we make blankets for the Children's Hospital for the cancer children. And then this year, we're going to be also making gift baskets for the hospice. We make duffel bags, stuffing them with supplies for the foster children. And she also has been really active in a teddy bear project that we have through the kindergarten classes, and where NHS goes and works with the kindergarten kids. Natalie wants to obviously pursue a career as a social worker and has plans to attend Fresno. And the best thing about it is Natalie is this voice for the kids at school that don't have a voice. She speaks up for people who might be on the sidelines. And again, with her moral compass and her incredible integrity, I wish I would have had just a little bit of Natalie in me during high school. I think it might have been a little more successful for me. But even if I couldn't have been Natalie, I would have loved to have had Natalie for my friend, because she really, really looks out for everybody and is just, everybody looks up to her at this school. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Natalie Avalos. I am here with my parents, Veronica and Alejandro, and I'd like to thank Dr. Farkas and my teacher, Mrs. Moan, for giving me this opportunity to be here. As you all know, I'm an active member of everything, but I don't do this for myself. I do this for others. And since I come from a low-income family and struggles, you learn how to have those values coming from the heart. You learn not to take things for granted. And so I'd like to teach people that and let them experience all this. And as coming out of high school, I plan on attending Fresno State and majoring in psychology and minoring in sociology to become a social worker and give those people a chance to let them know that they can succeed and let them know that they are and they do have a voice. Thank you.
At this time, we are going to recognize our Student of the Month from Helen Hunt Jackson, presented by Principal Frank Green.
Well, good morning, everyone. Congratulations to each of the students that were nominated by their schools. Just, again, like all the other principals have been saying, this is just the highlight of the month, so we're happy to be here. And our school is really proud to honor Sean Garrett as our Student of the Month. Teachers are really diligent about taking a look at who would make a great candidate. And teachers just talk about his hard work, dedication, resilience. I won't steal the thunder for the rest of the speakers, but it just is an exemplary model of what we expect over at our school. And I'll let his nominating teacher, Ms. Hill, tell you a little more.
Thank you. It is so wonderful to get to be here. I get to come once a year. So it's such a pleasure. Thank you to all the people who help sponsor these students. Sean was unanimously chosen by the staff at our school. We are the ACE Academy, which is part of Helen Hunt Jackson College Prep High School. And he was nominated because he is a student who has made changes over the last 6 months that have greatly and positively impacted not just his life, but the lives of students throughout the academy. It's like a wildfire, and he's so quiet that you wouldn't think that, but just the actions that have changed in him has made a huge impact at our site. For those of you that don't know too much about ACE Academy, we are an alternative program in the Hemet Unified School District, and students transfer to ACE for many different reasons. Sean transferred here despite his own desires and plans. At his previous school, he had easy access to students and an environment that was damaging to Sean both academically and personally. He was not attending school, and he was existing and surviving in a dangerous world. When he transferred to ACE, the change was not immediate at all. And there was a lot of hard work that went into that change, that had to be done. Sean continued to struggle, but 6 months ago, something switched. And for him, that change impacted everything. Work had been done to the environment, to the style of instruction, to the communication that was happening, but the change that made the impact came from Sean. We just get to be a part of it, and what a blessing that is, but he was the one who made the difference. He began checking in with me every single day, straight off the bus. He committed to setting and maintaining goals that included walking straight in, staying focused in class, completing a set amount of activities, daily parent communication, right? High schooler saying, yes, please give me something to take home to my mom every day, and then bringing it back to me to say that it was signed. So he really just stepped up and decided, I want to make a difference, and will you hold me accountable to that? From the day he decided to give his best, he has not wavered from a positive attitude and work ethic. An acronym that we have at ACE is to strive to embody GRAD. Sean is goal-oriented, respectful, accountable, and dedicated. This student leaves to take the bus before the light is out in the morning. He stays for extra sessions every day. He is signed up for dual enrollment with College of the Desert through the Hemet Unified School District. He's a student aide, and he is such a pleasure to have walk through the door each and every day. So it is our pleasure that we nominated Sean Garrett for Student of the Month.
Hello, Sean Garrett. It's my parents. Thank you, Miss Hill, Mr. Green. I want to thank you for this opportunity to be Student of the Month, and thank you for the ACE Academy staff for pushing me through last year and this year. It's been a ride. Sorry, little nervous. You can't tell. What changed me from being an F student to Student of the Month? I changed my atmosphere and my path, the peers that I hung around with, the habits that were created had to be changed for me to be successful. I now know never to give up on myself, and to put pride and effort into schoolwork. Anything I do, don't be mediocre. I've learned that. And what I plan on doing is stepping into a skilled trade such as HVAC and some other trades in that line of work. Yeah. I think I can give back to my community by setting an example to my peers, to proving that if you put any kind of effort into yourself and your future, it can go a long way. And possibly training people of what I learned into that trade. Again, thank you for the time and everything, and thank you to the supporters to giving the opportunity to the Students of the Month.
Hello, my name's Mark Garrett. This is my wife, Tina. We're Sean's parents, and I just want to know who you are and what did you do with my son. This change has been a long time coming, but we knew Sean had it in him. We always saw great potential for him in his life, and we're so grateful to his teachers and the staff over at the Helen Hunt for encouraging him along, and we're grateful for all the sponsors and all of those who've spoken to Sean's life over the years. So thank you all very much.
Our next presenter is San Jacinto High School Principal Luke Smith.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize our students. And last year, San Jacinto High School always went for, come in a little bit closer. He's going to yell at you. Come a little bit closer. San Jacinto High School always went first, and so it was like we got to get it done right off the bat. And now it's kind of fun watching our kid sweat it out a little bit and get to see everybody else go. But again, we're very happy to be here. Very happy that we're going to be able to introduce to you one of our phenomenal students. When we were thinking about nominations for Student of the Month, one mentioned earlier about thought somebody last year was a junior or was a senior and wanted to nominate him. Gabriel's one of those types of kids where you want them to be successful, you want them to move on with their life, but at the same time you're like, can you just stay, for a little bit longer? I got to know Gabriel a little bit last year as we started to engage with a citizenship award through the Bar Association of Riverside County, and I got to read all these essays that kids were putting in. And I read his essay, and I was just like, this is a phenomenal kid. I knew him as a ROTC cadet, obviously, and I'll talk about that. But what I've really found is that Gabriel, one thing doesn't define him. And while he has ROTC and he has many other qualities, there's just so many things that I got to find out more and more as I got to know him a little bit better. He's an AP student, he's an IB student, he's in ROTC, and then hearing his personal story is really what brought it home for me, that I'm so pleased that we're able to present him as our first Student of the Month from San Jacinto High School. He invited Senior Master Sergeant Rick DeMarty to be his guest, and he'll introduce him a little bit more.
Great, thanks, Luke. Well, good morning. It took me probably a minute to 2 minutes once Luke sent out the email saying, hey, we need some seniors as nominated for Student of the Month. And immediately came to mind, whipped it out, fired it to him. I think I had to be the first teacher in line. Let's go 4 years back. Our color guard team needed some more members, and I sent my commander out hunting for him. And she said, hey, I got this freshman named Ambries. You ought to try him out. Real quiet guy. Didn't volunteer for anything. Just minding his manners, being a freshman. And fast forward today, he's our, just like our Navy counterpart cadet over there, he's our deputy unit commander, second in charge. Runs my color guard team. Wins trophies left and right. Runs about 190 cadets. Always comes in my office. I have a chair next to me. Doesn't bother knocking, doesn't bother saluting. Just sits down and starts talking. And I don't know how we get there with some kids. You've got the superstars that always shine, and you've got the kids down here that we really try to take care of, and you got the middle kids, and you try to make a connection. And I don't know how we did it, but I'm really proud of this kid. He's going places. He represents San Jacinto real well. Like Luke said, AP classes, IB classes. How do you do that? How do you take 7 periods, 8 periods a day, and work weekends and nights and never give up? This is one awesome guy. You're going places. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Good morning, teachers, administrators, sponsors, distinguished guests, and fellow students of the month. My name is Gabriel Ambries, and I thank you all for providing me with this opportunity. I would like to especially thank my loving and devoted mother, Olga, and my AFJ ROTC instructor, Senior Master Sergeant Richard DeMarty. Today, I would like to share with you all the summits of my high school career. In the beginning of my junior year, my family had to move out of our house, where I was used to my own room, my own bed, a large desk, and a television. Instead, I moved into a room into my eldest sister's apartment. Confined, I now began to do homework on a bed rather than my desk. I now had to acclimate to less privacy, studying in an apartment in which my family definitely more than filled. Realizing that a closet is now where I would deposit all of my belongings, rather than the vast palace of my previous room. I had been truly privileged with a room of my own, and now this new apartment became a boot camp of meekness. I felt that I was in an unending trap of struggle, trying to maintain good grades in a place where privacy and focus simply didn't exist. Yet abruptly, my junior year, I had achieved the highest grade point average of my high school career. During that time period, I discovered the true meaning of when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
Now for myself, I don't like it when things are done incorrectly or without enough effort. Teenager, surprising, I know. Which brings me to what I believe my greatest contribution is. Servant leadership. To be a servant leader means to always do the right thing even when you aren't being noticed or recognized. To put occupations and responsibilities before the wanted luxuries of life, and lastly, to strive for excellence in all that you choose to do. I find great purpose in the organization and structure found in the AFJROTC program. I approach the work in my unit with great heart and diligence. I have experienced camaraderie that hints to what the world can be like in true cooperation to support others. After high school, I plan to attend a private university accommodating my beliefs and hopefully will be assisted by an ROTC scholarship. I will then endeavor to become an officer in the United States Air Force or Navy. Simultaneously, I hope to major or minor in a field of study supporting my beliefs. So after my career in the service, I can hold an occupation at a church in order to give back to my community. I thank my family, my peers, my school, my instructors, and all sponsors here today for the opportunities I have experienced in high school and hope to experience in college. Thank you again for this time.
Thank you. All the parents are shy today. I'd like to introduce Ken Swanson from Mountain View High School. Come on down.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate being able to go at the end today. Normally, I was able to introduce Dr. Emily Shaw. I do miss being able to do that, but I do like to be able to sit and watch everything and absorb a few things. Today, I'm here to honor our student, Zach Weir. He's a great kid, and I'm going to let Dr. Jordan Smith talk about him right now.
I promise I'm not going to take 10 minutes. But Zach, trying to think about this. Zach is a warrior. He's polite, he's prompt, he's present every day, and most important, he's productive. Zach is the exact reason of why I am a teacher and why I get up every morning to come and help others. But I have been able to observe Zach be a model. He's a leader inside the classroom, and I teach math. So he is a math warrior. And as a teacher, you always ask yourself this one question: how do you know that they're ready to go into the world? Well, Zach actually showed that to me. One day this past week, we were actually doing a problem, and we've been working on this one math problem, specifically doing recursive and explicit equations, and I know that just went over everybody. But we've been doing this, and I got onto a story about myself in Annapolis and I swimming. That the first year I had to do a 100-yard swim, and the second I had to do a 200-yard swim, and the third year I had to do a 400-yard swim. And then I noticed Zach was up on the board writing, and he started sharing this with the other students, and he told me about it, and he explained to me what it was, but I didn't get it. It stayed up on the board, and I woke up, I went to school, and I looked on the board, and he had written out an explicit and recursive table of values and functions to explain my swimming story. So I know that he got it and he's ready. This is an outstanding individual, and I know he's going to do well, and I can't wait for him to come back and share with you. Zach.
Thank you for the applause. I had a speech written down, but reading it would get me tongue twisted. I wanted to start out by introducing my guests, my best friend in the world, Cody Kyle, and my close friend, Jason Foreman. It takes a lot to stand up here and be able to talk about the problems and everything that someone goes through to get here today. And I saw that in a number of students who got up here to speak. And myself, it was not easy. I started out 9th and 10th grade with all Fs. I had a 0 GPA for 2 years, and I completely regretted it. And then junior year came, and I wanted to turn my life around. I wanted to get my high school diploma, and I went to Mountain View. And the first person I have to thank is my mom, because without her, I wouldn't be here at all. I had to beg her to go to this amazing school. Absolutely amazing. I started out maybe 1.5 credits a week, and mandatory you had to get 2. But after a few weeks, maybe a month or 2 passed, and I got that up to 7 credits a week. I started out in December and ended out with about 120 credits in the year. I also want to thank my best friend Cody for being so supportive this last 5 years. That's how long I've known him, and he has never, ever left my side. I also want to thank my beautiful girlfriend Sibune, who cannot be here tonight, sadly. She has been probably my greatest motivation. And maybe the best teacher and educator I could ever ask for, Dr. Smith. He is the most amazing. I mean, he's had me in tears because he is so great at educating and just blowing my mind. And so with that, I just want to thank everyone for being here today, and thank you to the sponsors for letting this event be possible.
Yes, like Zach was saying, I've known him for about 5 years now. And yeah, we get in arguments, but that's what best friends do. But Zach has been such a great friend to me, and I feel like I'm a great friend to him. We do everything together. I mean, we tell each other if we're hurt that day, if we're sad, happy, whatever. It's like for me, he's my go-to man. I can tell him anything, and he won't judge me about it. And I feel the same way I can do for him. And Zach has he's actually changed my life around in a good way. So I just want to thank him for that.
Okay, so while I have Cody up here, just in case any of you remember Cody from a few years ago, Cody was standing up here at this podium giving his story just a few years ago. Cody's actually doing very well over Mount San Jacinto, taking care of his general courses over there, and supporting other students to help get where he was at, helping Zach get to where he's at. So thank you very much for everything you folks do. Thank you much for the opportunity, and back to the stage, let's welcome Karina.
Thank you for sharing your stories, and we heard great words like positive role model, honor, courage, committed, respectful, accountable. I mean, we want you guys to come back. I know that being a young adult, you think, I can't wait to get out of this valley. And do it, please. Go to school and then come back and give back to the other students. And I know Cody, can you stand? Cody is giving back to his friend, but he also was part of San Jacinto Unified School District strategic plan, and he was a student of the month. And I appreciate what he's doing and being a positive role model, providing good reinforcement back into our community. That's exactly what we want. Thank you, Cody. I would like to call up 2 dignitaries, and we do this every month. We pick 2 dignitaries to come up and speak to our students and to our attendees. And today we have Mayor Scott Miller. Would you please come up? And we also have Dee Cozart, President of the San Jacinto Chamber of Commerce.
Well, good morning, everyone. You know, you come to an event like this, and you want to have some words to inspire, but quite honestly, I've been inspired this morning. And Miss Grant from Tockwitz, can I just say this? I love your skin tone. And from one skin tone to another, you are a champion, you are a leader, and you have God-given talents that are going to take you to the top. So please do what you've been called to do, because you're going to make all of us proud. You know, when I think about the young people that are represented here today, and I think about the fact that sometimes we watch the news and all they have to say are negative things about the young people in America. Well, I can say this much. It does my heart good to know that the young people that represent us here today in this room are the people that we are going to hand off the leadership of America to. And folks, we are in good hands. So I would say to all the students here they're here today, don't become distracted, stay focused, continue to do what you've been called to do, because it's not just for you. You're going to help save America. You're going to stand up and be the leadership that we need, because our future belongs to you. Thank you so much for what you do. God bless you, and continue to be who you've been called to be. Thank you so much.
Good morning. It's such an honor to be here to represent the Hemet San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce. As a business partner in this community, it is so critical that we have an active partnership with our education community. Business doesn't stand on its own. We need our faith-based people. We need our schools. We need our government officials. This is something that we're all in together, making this valley the great place that it is. And what impresses me most about every one of the students we heard from today is they get it. They figured out the secret. Your education isn't just what you take from here. It's what you put into it that gives you more back. I heard about people who have a heart for service, who have a heart for servant leadership. You know, guys, these are sophisticated business principles. You don't realize that this is stuff that they teach you in higher education. You guys get it now. And I'm so proud to be part of a community where your education in a small town or a small city isn't an excuse. It is an absolute reason that you guys are going to succeed in the future. And we're all behind you, because we want the kind of life that you can help build as our future leaders. As Scott said, we are in good hands. We believe in you, and we're here today to demonstrate it, and we hope that you come back, as we already have a student coming back, to give more to the community. We all win in this situation, so thank you for being the people that you are, and continue to be something more and better and greater even then in the future. So thank you very much.
I just want to encourage not only the young adults here in the room, but the adults. Altura pays me to go out and do these kinds of things, and they have me go out and teach financial literacy in the high schools and colleges, junior highs. And every time I walk into a high school, I'm amazed of what you students do. A big thing with adults, believe it or not, is bullying. And when I go into a high school and I see all the anti-bullying and love each other, and it doesn't matter what your opinion or what your belief is or what you stand up for, it's just a different world in a high school. You guys respect each other. You guys appreciate what each one of you believes in and values. And if us adults can do that and take that out to our world and respect each other's values and respect what we stand and believe for. It's okay not to believe the same thing. It's okay not to be the same. But it has to be okay to respect each other. Have a great day, everybody.